Welcome back, everybody. LDLC get their first win of the Pro League, and our casters seemed a little bit perplexed by that game. They said it was a little bit of a strange game of Counter-Strike. I wonder if our analysts are going to think any differently of it. I mean, talk me through it, because it was a weird one.
There was some profanity coming out from my end. I thought that game was just nonsensical. Boo-boos across the board. People need to go have a good, long, hard look at themselves in the mirror, I think, after a match like that.
Yeah, definitely not something that we expect, perhaps. I mean, at this level, you know, some of the individual moves, more than anything else, you know, some lapses in judgment, it's things that you don't really see that often, and that's why you see so many of them in this one game. For example, towards the very end, I mean, Toanu with that play in Banana is just like, there's 20 seconds left. You can literally win the round by running away, you know, and just buying time for your teammates, and you go for the repeat. That's not one of those situations where, yeah, like, but even the likes of Guardian or Kenny S, right, if they go for that move, it still doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter who you are. It's not good Counter-Strike to go for that repick. You have a much higher probability of winning the round if you just fall back.
I mean, speaking of looking yourself in the mirror, we were just touching upon Snyder and his eye surgery before the game.
Yes.
You then found out some interesting news.
I did some reconnaissance. I got on the most, I guess, legit source for news possible, which is Instagram stories.
Yep.
And he had put on his Instagram story that the doctor had told him that he wasn't meant to play tonight or shouldn't play tonight, and he has to go to hospital again tomorrow. Well, so maybe that's why he had the auto sniper.
Exactly. Maybe that's why he had the old DAC out, Chad. Is that how you call it?
We call it the DAC, yes, the noise it makes. But I think that makes sense on the CT side because you don't have to focus on the whole screen, right? You narrow it in. But it wasn't like that was the reason they were losing by any means or any stretch of the imagination. Actually, their CT side was just abysmal. Even in the rounds where they were getting opening kills, it was like Maniac was just walking out holes and opening up onto them.
If anything, I think the auto sniper is going to see more use in the future. I think it's been underutilized, you know, because people think it's BM or whatever. But at this level, you're going to do whatever it takes to win. The gun is in the game as many others, and I think it can be very powerful in certain scenarios. But I definitely agree. You just can't allow Maniac to get kills, like get aim duels 1v1 and just gain advantages from apartments. I mean, yes, props to him for hitting some good shots and finding those openings, but we just need to do a better job on the CT side.
Yeah, and speaking of Maniac and Devil, they were both the key players from this series, and you can see the highlights on your screen. I mean, an interesting round that I do want to talk about with you guys was actually when we saw Snyder move in, and he was meant to defuse the bomb, and he didn't hold it. Instead, he backed off, and it was a very, very odd decision to make.
I think for him, probably, we should, you know, give him the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, he's probably feeling awful at the moment, so probably didn't have the presence of mind to realize how much time was left, you know, and just go straight for the defuse, because obviously, in hindsight, you can see that's like no way he can win the round once he gets off of that defuse, whether he gets the kill or not. So for him, I'm willing to give him a pass, you know, today for any of the weird decisions he might still make.
The worst thing about that round was not like what happened in the end scenario, it was the fact that it took him forever to actually rotate, right? He was obviously fumbling around in Banana trying to find a better gun because he had the auto sniper, not the best weapon to retake with. Eventually he got himself an M4, but by that point, you know, he'd already wasted a good like 15-ish seconds getting there, and then in that situation in a 1v1, you never know where the guy's going to be, right? You're basically taking a gamble. And when you can only tap the bomb and he doesn't pick, which he didn't, he had to do the smoke, and that was all
the one silver lining for GODSENT might be that on their T side, we saw signs of them trying to play with more structure, right? It wasn't just, let's go and find duels, let's go for the fights. It was actually, okay, we set up, we take control of mid. Even the last round, which they unfortunately lost, I think the idea was good, you know, going for that wrap, using the smokes. Also, earlier we saw a fake and so forth. It's just like that CT side really was abysmal.
And both teams losing as well. After getting the pistol in both rounds, they then lost the eco, especially the second half as well. I mean, that pistol round that was won was just with Glocks, and I think one P250.
Yeah, that's mind-boggling, right? Like, I know that Henry and Lauren were being quite critical of the aggression that was coming out, and it was just the Banana players in that case. Normally what you want to do is have mid-aggression and Banana aggression, and I actually don't mind it, because if you verse a team that upgrades pistols with Molotovs and that kind of stuff, and you go aggressive with the SMGs, you actually don't allow them to execute, and you're all going to fight. So you either win or lose instantly, and I think it's a pretty good way to deal with avoiding bomb site executes. Because when you buy up on the second round of CTs, you're either not going to have the right weapons, the M4s, or you're not going to have the utility. It's a trade-off between one or the other. And if an execute comes in, you kind of need both. So you don't want to give up the ground. But that round was just insane because they only had the P250 on Twist. He got that opening kill, and from there everything spiraled out of control, which should never happen, right? Even in that kind of scenario, they give up one gun. It should never happen from that point. You should buddy up, you should have a partner, and you should be able to trade out efficiently, and you should be getting 2-for-1s when they only have Glocks.
Yeah, but in the end, LDLC were able to take the game, and momentum now well with them going into the second map, which is going to be Overpass. Again, just looking at results, LDLC, they've not been doing too well on Overpass, whereas GODSENT, they beat Astralis in week 2, so
that was the one.
Yeah, which is what you were going to talk about earlier. Yeah.
I made a mistake. I said that Hellraisers beat Astralis and Overpass. It was actually GODSENT. I apologize to all the viewers. I'm not trying to lie and pull the blanket over your eyes. Is that the saying?
It could be.
They beat
Australians are different.
So they did beat the Danish team. We weren't too wrong about that. But I mean, obviously, GODSENT taking down Astralis, a huge deal, and that was performance on the CT side, if I remember correctly, trying, managing to find openings, because what you talk about when it comes to Astralis and Overpass, they're so good at not getting picked off, and then they have great ways of ending the round. But GODSENT actually, in that game with their CT aggression, managed to find openings early on. So if they can do that versus Astralis, LDLC is in a very difficult spot. I think they need a good start on the T side to prevent GODSENT from having a good economy and, to, in that sense, force them to play a bit more defensive.
Something we didn't see from them against Astralis was their T side, right? Because they only had to play so few rounds, and the one which kind of tipped them over the edge was the clutch by Twist, right? And that was a really big individual round. It wasn't team-based. That game could get really interesting if he didn't win that round. I can see Astralis getting in the groove and grinding back at that point.
Right.
Now, I am under the impression this is GODSENT's map. So that means they'll probably be starting on the T side. So we're going to have to actually see what strategies they have. I know in the past with Pronax, they had some really cool B executes where they actually smoked off the connected door and they executed through sewer that way by isolating different areas of the map, which is a bit unusual. But now that he's not in the team, I wonder if their approach is going to be very default style, set up, get map control, which is what we see, and then throw in the cookie cutter execute. The problem with that is if you're such a new team, your protocols, or you have a new in-game leader, who is also new to being an in-game leader, your mid-round calls can get a little bit difficult.
Well, we'll see if GODSENT are able to pull one back in this kind of best-of-2 series. So let's jump into game number 2 on Overpass with Henry and Pansy.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Overpass is a weird one, because I got to see that GODSENT game where they did manage to best Astralis, and that was all very curious. It was a bit of a, you look at it and you're like, that's not repeatable, that's not something you could do every day, and it does feel as though it was a one-off. Well. I spoke to Dupree after the game and quite recently about it, and I was like, what happened? In the nicest way, because that was something we just don't expect to see.
It's their best map.
And literally, we played like shit.
Okay, fair enough.
There's no two ways about it. Yeah. Had a really off game, and GODSENT, let's be honest, when they're aggressive, they're in your face, that puts you on tilt. It's hard to handle. They are very good at that, but I'm curious to see if they can apply it again here. If they can start making it a common factor, I'll be very impressed.
We'll see. I didn't get to catch that game. I heard some of the highlights, and some crazy things went down with the AWP from what I heard. But from what I saw from GODSENT so far, I don't think they'll be replicating that form today. But we'll see. LDLC, a map they can play. They've been a solid core for a while now, maybe with the exception of Devil. But as they get into it, it's going to be the T-side start for them. 4 sets of armor. Most teams favour towards B on Overpass. Twanu with the smoke, 2 flashbangs, and Freddy B. He'll go a little bit aggro at the very start, trying to find the first shots there. Did spot Alex, but he'll fall back. And he Twist holding towards Monster. He has got some tentative backup from Disco Doppelin and Dennis as they hold the entrance to the B site. Decoy, I think, thrown to the corner there just to take some vision away and maybe trick the T's as they walk in.
Curious, isn't it? Let's see what LDLC do. Bomb's still pretty far down over by Devil, so again, that's not been moved. Alex has gotten quite far up by Toilets. Might be able to catch Freddy in an awkward position if the timing's right. And, well, the timing might not be there, actually, as Alex has actually let him slip away, and, oh, this could be a disaster. Hello, Knife. Maniac, goodbye. That's lots of money and a whole lot of information. He doesn't even need to commit to that fully, but he does, and Existence puts him down. Again, giving away what could have been a huge game factor changer there. Now, he didn't know that Alex was behind him at the time, but still.
Well, it's a little bit of a strange way to kick things off, but it will be the advantage now for GODSENT. Disco Doppelin, he finds Existence, and they'll go all in towards the A side, but the CT's well aware. Surely there's no way the T's can come out on top here. Someone's going to have to go absolutely massive here, and it could be Alex to step up to the plate. He finds one, but Dennis fighting back, and there's the second. 2-on-2 now. All
right, this is game-changing. This is big from Alex. He hasn't even taken that much damage in a third. Oh, and a fourth. What? There we go. Line up, knocked down. What on earth is going on with GODSENT? How did they let that happen?
I did say someone had to go massive. I didn't actually anticipate someone to get a 4K, though, with the USP. That was a really difficult round to analyze. When you see someone get to that sort of position, connector, and knife someone, and then have 3 players on the screen and dismiss all the shots, you think, well... Sure, they didn't win that particular scenario, but they got the information, they recovered it, it was like a 4-on-2. All the CTs were actually at the A site as well, Alex just eviscerated them with that silenced USP and ran away with the round. It's just a great individual play. Nothing really, I don't think GODSENT did anything wrong. It's just him hitting every single shot and just being absolutely stellar there. Will be the force buy in return, though. Twists, push towards long. Does some damage, but he takes even more. He goes down to 10, and it will be the fast play towards middle from the French side. Schneider, though, that Deagle does find the first opening kill, and he probably goes down here. Maniac finds him, and they will go all in towards the A side. Oh, goodness.
Dennis as well. You don't want to mess with Dennis too much. Working them down to 3. It is that 3v3 situation, but you can see it now being pulled back into check by Existence. There is a threat of twist, but it's limited. But look at this play. He's going to be in the right place at maybe the right time. Existence does check on it. He didn't get caught out. Very good presence of mind, obviously, from him, but a relatively costly round. But again, GODSENT not in a drastically better position, still in the same sort of spot, but he's doing a little bit of damage to LDLC. A
little bit. They have to take the full eco now. They did force buy there, I think, with 1 Famous and CZs. And we go to round number 3. This should be an almost lock-in round for LDLC. We do have Schneider with the CZ, so he's invested quite a lot of money into the last couple of rounds, but he did get a kill on the previous, so I guess it's absolutely fine. Round number 3, and Devil with the Mac 10 once again. Twano the UMP. They'll just hold up in the default for now, wait for any CT players to make a mistake, maybe push around the corner, trying to find a first kill like Dennis is doing right now. Once they get a 5-on-4, that's when they group up and enter the bomb site together.
But I like this kind of crunch from GODSENT, just all kind of very centric around this area. If they can make anything of it, you're quite likely to get maybe a gun or 2 away.
Oh.
There's the second. Schneider capitalizing on the second there was quite surprising. The first I'll give him, the second, he worked hard for that.
Those CZs, they'll get you.
They really are coming back through at the moment. I do like to see it.
Yeah.
Now, Freddie B, Disco Doppelin, Dennis, and Schneider still stand for GODSENT. Obviously still working with very limited amounts. No armor to supplement that rifle they've recovered. And there's 3 men against them. 1 smoke, 1 flash remain. And no bomb plant yet. So the cross can be challenged here. We've seen stranger things. And that's a nice little boost. Bit naughty, a bit cheeky in this one. And you can see Freddie B testing the waters. But the smokes are up. And LDLC still going through the checklist, being quite meticulous.
Well, they've got the AK-47 and the man advantage. 2 kills so far for Schneider. He could find maybe a little bit more here. There's an interaction going on towards the bathroom. You can see a low HP Alex, but he finds a frag on the aforementioned Schneider. Now a 3-on-3, but the players on the CT side dropping like flies now. Dennis has got that AK-47 in hand, but no nades, no armor, no kit. Surely be dealt with momentarily, and there's the final frag from the in-game leader Existence. And 3 players survive for LDLC. And it was a decent attempt, to be fair. 2 kills of that CZ. Didn't see that coming. That was all they really invested into that round. So that was actually quite beneficial. But first gun round, you can see how that second round of force buy comes back to haunt them a little bit here, Lauren. No AWP to work with, of course. And we did say how powerful that has been for Twists. He can't really use that here. No kits. And 4 players of our helmets. Not a big deal with the AKs, but there is 1 UMP available to Devil.
Oh, are LDLC going to do something quick here? It looks like it might be the case. Maniac going to be been the linchpin almost of the rotate. He's going to deny anyone trying to come through that underpass area, allow the rest of LDLC to plow through towards B. Now, Freddie B has gotten away unchecked until then. He takes the fight towards Monster. And what?
So they could be planting right now.
Oh, God, what an error.
Whoops.
That's a huge... They've had to forego everything they just worked for.
It's not a huge deal, but they've lost like 6 seconds, maybe more, of the bomb not being planted right now.
Ooh, that's not good. That was such a nice idea as well. It was all very well rounded until you go, right, who's got the bomb? None of us.
No one, actually.
Yeah, we're kind of screwed here, but it's retake time now for GODSENT, who have 3 players alive and they're in a relatively decent position, just purely because of a couple more seconds getting them there. But they have to get past the last 2 players. Maniac and Devil, both playing from the same position, but you still have that Molotov as well up. This could be pretty big. That's going to come in.
Really early on the deployment there.
Very early. That could be...
No one touched the bomb.
They have no kits either, though, so that's, I guess, a benefit they don't realise. But Devil needs to play a little bit ahead of this now, and good work in the end from him. It's down to a 1v1. He should just play time, and he knows it, but maybe missing a trick there on that Molotov. Maybe just kind of a little premature on it.
Yeah, at least wait till they touch the bomb first, right? I guess the only problem with that is they go for the full defuse, then they can still grab it just about as the Molotov goes off. But I still would think they could have waited at least a few more seconds. But still, GODSENT with no kids is very unlikely to go win the round regardless. Either way, it's still beneficial as soon as the Molotov's down there. Buys them 7 more seconds. And it will be 4-0 LDLC. That's what they tried to do on Inferno, if you remember. They had the lead at 3-0. And they, well, no, I think it was 3-1 after they got force bought in. And they knew the CTs would be low. They'd have like SMGs, maybe no kits. You just do a set piece towards a particular site. Don't leave the bomb outside the site sometimes. I mean, that's one you have to remember. take the bomb with you. Like they could have like got the bomb down there, I think about 8-9 seconds faster, and it would have been even more uncomfortable for the CTs where they rotate in. But still, they win the round, no harm, no foul, and a partial buy here from GODSENT. Dennis with the M4, some upgraded pistols as well. We go back towards the B site, focusing on the monster.
Well, they are really hammering this home, aren't they? Twanu going to have to be able to be traded into this, but the CZs are working well. The M4 on Dennis gets put down, but still, they're doing quite a bit of work here. Freddie B, though, feels the burn, has to back away a little bit. Alex, though, going to try and take the advantage, takes the initiative and takes the kill. And now it's Disco Doppler looking for an opportunity to maybe catch someone on the way through if they're being a little bit kind of lackluster or lose a little bit of that judgment. And, well, it's twist to strike. Alex goes down, and these rounds are so back and forth. The bomb's now in a horrible predicament, but the firepower's there, so it shouldn't let them down.
Well, Disco Doppler, the final player here. Low HP. Definitely got uncomfortable for LDLC there, but they win the round. That's all that really matters here. They're on the T side. Money is okay. It's not swelled to an astronomical level, but you can see they can buy the AWP still. They're going to have about 2K per player left over. It's not the end of the world, but still the CTs are keeping them modest. Maniac having a pretty good game so far. Inferno look very good indeed. But Twist, the first time we've seen the AWP come out, he'll be up against Twano as well. Purchased it for the first time on the T side. And round number 6, where we really get going.
See if Twist goes for a little something. He will be going for the fight. I don't know, there's not many people challenging him, however. LDLC, again, kind of tendency towards B here, it seems, or at least kind of that side of the map. Schneider seems aware. Twist still able to operate to this sort of degree, as Schneider does have his side. But as soon as that contact's made, Twist needs to adjust. It's not easy to play from party with people coming at this angle, but 3 players over by B, not looking too threatened yet for GODSENT either. So again, LDLC taking their time here.
Dissecting the map, they have connector control. They have now water as short as well. Twanu holding monster. So this looks like a fast approach towards A. Alex looking assertive here, wants to go in and find the AK headshots. All ready and waiting for him, but now it gets very uncomfortable for Twist.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Twist knows how close they are. I think he's going to find out very soon, and you almost believe that could have worked, but in the end it's the Molotov, and it's Alex, and it's all these sort of things coming together. Maniac again, headliner here, really putting in the hard work, and Devil goes straight into it. Not going to sit back for a second. Clearly feeling a little pumped up here, but Freddie B just kind of pushes him aside. He's like, I'm done with you. I'm bored of this.
Well, he's going to have to get excited now because he's in a 2v1 situation. No kid available to him, does damage to existence, but it's not enough to win the round. And that amazing performance against Astralis doesn't look like it will be replicated as of yet. We have a player drop out for LDLC as they go up 6-0 here. It has to be another eco for GODSENT. They, of course, have maximum loss bonus, but has to be a partial buy into this one. Who have we lost then?
Alex. I've seen him reconnect, so he shouldn't be too long. He's, I guess the GoTV's a little behind or whatever, but not by much. He should be back, ready to go as soon as, unless there's other issues that I'm curious about. But all that aside, yeah, it does feel as though that, like, I guess the Astralis hit was that one-off sort of thing. And it can happen, I guess. You can have bad games, and I guess if GODSENT have a good game, it all just matches up that way. But I was kind of hoping we'd see a kind of a better structure to GODSENT. I'm a big fan of how Freddie B's come into this and kind of brought the team back together, and it looked like they came in, I guess hot off the start, right? They had those good results, but it doesn't seem as though it's been replicated just yet.
They need to start getting some rounds on the board. That's obviously the main problem here. They haven't got any sort of momentum to work with. They've had the Overpass once, and that didn't really work out for them. Lost the first pick, and then LDLC is playing the perfect game in the sense of as soon as they get these first kills, they're just capitalizing, going very quickly towards sites. And Twist, he had a very uncomfortable affair there of Alex, who's getting straight up towards the site. He missed one shot, and we told him to go for the no-scope. Like you said, he thought it was going to hit. If it does, he probably win the round. Fortunately, he did not. A little bit unlucky in that respect, and it will be LDLC just swarming that A site, and nothing really Freddie B could do on the retake. No kid, no nades, like we said. That's been pretty much the story of the first half so far. As we said, partial buy coming for GODSENT. They can buy it with double orbs they want to next round. We know it's a possibility with Dennis on the side, with Twist there as well. I think when things get like this, that's what you always certainly do. You bring out the double orbs and maybe just try and mix things up. Overpass does allow you to double orb. It's not like a go-to every single time, but it's certainly viable.
Hopefully it's an answer to some of what's been happening to them. I'm kind of wanting to see a little bit more from them, a bit of resistance, as LDLC so far just seem to be going through the motions. A couple of close rounds here and there, a couple of, I guess, unforced errors from LDLC, the bomb being left a mile away, but GODSENT taking the initiative here, walking right on through monsters. So they've got information aplenty. You can see Dennis instantly put himself towards A. Twist now kind of gets put on notice, but still, Devil. They're hitting shots.
They really are. looking like the much... I said coming into this game, I said GODSENT on paper have like a much higher skill ceiling, I think, but haven't really seen that today. Like they've seen a little bit underwhelming, unfortunately. It's going to be a 5-4 now, and that's perfect LDLC. The bad news is Freddy B is coming from T-Spawn. This could be something. Got that CZ, armor to work with as well. He heads towards long, and that could be the unraveling of this play because he's going to be a little bit too late to even spot existence, I think. Heads towards Party. And they've already committed, so he won't get much done here at all.
Disco Doplin's behind as well, but yeah, timing is a factor. Schneider and Dennis would have to buy plenty of time for them to become relevant. Good connection towards long, but Devil and Existence do power through, and that's 3 kills. Now, Freddy B very much alone, going to be able to probably find 1. Quick pick up towards Maniac, but 4 more. Oh, yeah, bit of diffuse. Don't know if I'm feeling it, Freddy. We'll see if anything more can cover it. No. Alex to shut this down, and it is LDLC going through, you know, the strides here, but we are waiting for this round. This could be the exciting one. It looks as though they've gone for what you theorized could be an option.
When things get a little bit dire, you always bring out the double orbs. It will be Disco Doplin as well. He definitely has been known to be an AWPer in his time. That's one of the good things about his GODSENT lineup. Sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating as well to have so many AWPers available. That was a problem in one of those weird Fnatic lineups. They had like 5 players on the server who wanted to AWP, and they just every different round, someone else would be giving it a go. And this could be the same sort of problem for GODSENT. I'm not sure. I haven't cast them enough to know how they kind of differentiate between setups on different maps, but it will be Disco Doplin and Twist for now, as they send Twist towards long, Schneider in the bathroom, and of course Disco Doplin, he'll be holding towards the B side of the map in heaven for now.
Well, let's hope they don't forget that bomb. It's looking a little bit worrying to me right now, but I think Existence will keep that in mind. As LDLC kind of begin to default throughout the map, keeping control of just about everything, kind of denying any play from GODSENT early. Any information gathering missions will be kind of thwarted, but nice position from Alex, but Schneider seems very aware of this. Plays it around well, plays out those toilets, going to be able to fall back as well as we do get CG_drawgun0. Always nice to see. And Twanu trying to make up for this, but not too many options to do so. You can see the rest of GODSENT responding as well. Twist and Disco Doplin preparing themselves. Schneider's still kind of winding it up around the back, but there's Freddy denying any play towards Monster. They're winning out on most fronts here, GODSENT. This could be the first real chance of them putting up a round.
Well, Schneider coming from Party as well. It's looking very promising indeed. He needs to make sure he hits at least one of these kills. There it is. Twanu goes down. Maniac fighting back, though. And for now, it does look like it's going to be a GODSENT round. Schneider presumably finding the kill that really does set it in stone. Maniac now comes in for the 3-on-1 situation, but down he goes. Twist ready and waiting, and finally it working out for them. Schneider with 3 kills, good positional control from long there, gets towards Party, finds 2 more. It's not so much the double AWP setup that works out for them, but managing to find the kills where required, pincering in quite nicely towards the end as well, and keeping, I think, 3 players alive, so they're absolutely fine there. And the money still going to take a bit of a battering if they do lose this round. They do have to save some weaponry, but look at the LDLC buy. What is this going on? They're not even...
They're not skint either. They've got decent money in the bank.
Left over like 3k per player. This is a really weird buy. They could have bought.
Any theories as to why? I'll leave you to my little over.
Yeah.
Let's see what they do with this. You've got to hope they've got an intention, right? A plan, something.
Maybe because they know they're up against a double AWP right now. They just want to throw in like a really weird set piece and then just run and gun with the UMPs. I can try and overwhelm it.
Even utility-wise, they're
like
very
they had enough for 5 AKs for sure. Like 5 AKs and like 5 smokes and Molotovs, more than enough.
Okay. I'm hoping for maybe a run and gun, something close, something fast, maybe put those SMGs to bear. And again, it looks like it might be the case. They are going very quick at this. Schneider again, though, look what he could do here. He does find the room, but instantly the trade comes through. Existence this time, not going to let him get away with murder. Now Twist is put to the next task, and he delivers on his front. Good work, spots another, gets the tag, falls away. Oh, this is lovely from Twist. Always in control. Now needs to be a little bit cautious. Again goes back in. He loves putting on a show, and it's twice now on Overpass. It looks like he is feeling very at home.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. 7-2. GODSENT hold off the strange decision there to buy up 5 UMPs. I think it's just down to the fact they know the double AWPs are out there. They're trying to just keep things fast and a little loose. Smokes down and going as a 5-man unit and hopefully overwhelm Twist. But obviously, like we saw, he hits every single shot and they get shut down. But they come back in with a decent buy once more. It will be the AKs and the AWP in the hands of Twanu. And this time, Disco Doplin goes a little bit more aggressive towards Monster Tunnel. And we have got 2 players in the connector as well. So Schneider will be with Freddy B. Twist holds towards middle, and this will be the B execution. Existence throughout CSGO and all on Counter-Strike iterations really known to be a execution-based in-game leader. And they're actually not committing it. They have 5 players on that side of the map, but the bomb's picked up and they're heading back towards T-spawn. So maybe had a change of heart.
Yeah, curious as to why as well. Nothing really given away by GODSENT. No one really seen anything. Alex and Devil going to play back through, but you can see the... I guess, you know, Schneider's still pushed up towards Underpass on the stairs. Going to make it a little bit tricky. And he does have Freddy B played into the corner as well. Now, even if you find one... Oh, now that's big, though. Maniac be able to find Freddy B. Instantly checking on it will keep options available. You're down to 50 seconds, so they've got to make the hit fast. But there's still this double ops up in play. Twist, Disco Doppler, the last two really to keep it all in check. Dennis now going to join Twist. Play quite up close. Play by those toilets. Allow themselves to work off each other. Twist succeeds on his front. I think he's seen Maniac as well. Yeah, Molly goes down. He wants to try and back out of this bomb. Again, left pretty far away. Maniac's going to have to go back for that. Tuanu's up on his own as well. So he's trying to find a bit of play down by Long, but it looks like maybe Maniac's having a bit of a change of heart here. Maybe feeling he can make a play towards B. Leave Tuanu as the bait towards A.
Oh, the little wall bang there. That's not bad at all. And will be Tuanu trying to do what he can here. And I think you're right, trying to bait in his teammate who's waiting to go towards the B side. Why would he be by himself? As I can see him go down now. So Maniac won't even get the bomb down there. It was a nice attempt, but 3 rounds in a row for GODSENT, and that should be the eco now for LDLC. So as soon as they get the double orbs out and get the utility to work with a couple of rounds on the board, they're looking like a much stronger unit with more confidence. They can afford to go towards Connect at the start, try and find the jewels in. It's Twist who's running away with it now. 8 kills for him, pretty much all of them in the last 3 rounds. And now they do have control of this one as well. Existence does fall by with the AK head armor. He's got 1 smoke and a few flashbangs here. What's the play? What has he got up his sleeve?
I'm a little curious. LDLC haven't really gone to those kind of, you know, full-on sight hits or anything that we know that works during quite well against the double ops. Maybe just not feeling it yet. I don't know what's really kind of hindered them on this. Existence succeeds quite well on his own, and again, that's great. But where the hell's that bomb? Again,
yeah,
they're having a great game. Just keep pushing. Why not?
What's he knifing for?
Devil? Do you know what, Henry? I don't know.
I assume he had no bullets. I didn't see it from his POV. We can have a look at that, please, Mr. Replays, and work out what he was doing there with the knife. Did he, like, just run out of bullets and just run around the corner? Like, he had picked up M4, so maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Maniac's gotten a little closer. Could have maybe got a bomb plant. Didn't expect Disco Doppler there, but this has been a very unique half thus far. Again, some of these rounds, once it gets a little closer, you're seeing these kind of curious choices being made individually, and maybe we'll get a little bit more clarity to that if we do get to see it again. But at 4-7, GODSENT certainly pulling this one back as soon as they got that double AWP out.
Yep.
I'm hoping we see the kind of mastermind coming up with a plan of approach here. I'm kind of curious they haven't really found an answer yet.
I think you're right. That would be the answer right now against double orbs. Get the set pieces out, especially towards that B side of the map, and that's how you shut the orbs out. Once you get the bomb down, trade kills, and the orbs have to retake, that's when they really do struggle. But Existence doesn't seem to be calling that just yet. This is what we saw before, though. 5 players towards B. This won't be a set piece, more of a contact play. Molotov's coming towards barrels as well. Freddy B going to be uncomfortable. The flashbang's so good from the CD side. Just holding them at bay right now.
And that's good from Maniac. That's really impressive. Take him down early, see what else they can achieve here. You've still got Dennis waiting for his moment to strike, and he chooses it well. The flashes are great. They let him unleash fury, and another one lines up for him, but he takes a step too far. It's brought back to a 2v2, and then tips in favor further. GODSENT had so much control in this, and then it spiraled away from them. This 2v1 could be deadly. Twist, though, he's done big things before, but this is going to be tricky for him to work his way back into.
Yeah. So he's had a bit of a blinder and fires off the shot through the smoke. Doesn't connect just yet. LDLC lying wait. They know how deadly he can be on this map. No nades to work with now. Twist waiting for the smoke to go down, hoping someone has walked into his cross, and it could happen there. Devil considering that play, the timing working in his favor, I have to say.
CSGO timing.
Yeah, Twist is watches that for 2 more seconds. He gets that frag and potentially the round as well. But GODSENT, they give one more away. It's 8-4 in favor of LDLC. Very simple play there. Just all 5 players towards B. Walking through the smoke, Molotoving towards the barrels. Few flashbangs over, that's all it took. And it was GODSENT looking like they're going to run away with the round as well. Dennis looking like he was incredibly good form with the M4A4, but overextended. Brought it down to the 2-on-2, and then Existence with the frag on the UMP. And here we are, another force by all for Disco Doppler. I have to give that to Twist, considering the way he's been playing. And then a Mag 7, some pistols, and then a Schneider M4.
Yeah, interesting. LDLC falling back to what looks like another B hit here. We do have the kind of stack towards Underpass. You can see the 2 players boosting on top of each other. Freddy B going walkabouts again. Good information. That should alleviate pressure from Disco Doppler, who can now fall off from A-Long where he was, but by now LDLC are very much in the door. They're very much already there, so again, tough for them to find any sort of play GODSENT, but they can maybe make it a little bit awkward, a bit uncomfortable. See what they can do. Twist and Schneider look very much up to the challenge as Maniac watches the back, tries to catch the timing right, and he does. That'll be Freddy B removed, but now the rest of GODSENT have their chance. Small chances it may be. Schneider's got a good connection here. Twist still played in. Dennis finds one. This is still very possible. They're being a little bit of a nuisance, to say the least, but Maniac's putting up a good fight here, trying to keep this one together. Dennis and Disco Doppelin trying to do anything they can, but no. Twanu denies in the end, and it did look a little hectic, a little bit of mayhem coming in, but it was controlled.
Well, GODSENT, without winning the round, it doesn't really matter. We're coming to the closing sectors of the first half now. Even that damage they've done won't really have a big outcome on the end of the half. I'll have to take a full eco here. It's 9-4, almost certainly going to be 10-4, but we have seen this round fall apart for LDLC. 1 P250 and some default weaponry. We'll see what happens here. Round number 14, LDLC certainly look at the stronger team, but it was 6-0 start. You have to remember, that's where GODSENT really couldn't get into the game. The financial situation wasn't there for them. As soon as the double orbs came out, that's when they looked great. And unfortunately, losing that one round got them back in a difficult spot. And it's Devil and Maniac to open things up. Like we said, pretty much guaranteed round for LDLC here.
Yeah, not too surprising. GODSENT just trying to stay as a pack, trying to see if they can get something. Kind of unlikely, considering how LDLC are approaching. It looks like Existence wants a little bit of all the attention, and Maniac's there to support him. So, double digits for LDLC. Wondering if we see a similar scoreline to the first map. It did feel as though maybe when those double ops were out, it was going to be a little bit more competitive.
Yes.
But at present, it looks like LDLC are very much back in the driving seat here.
Yeah, Existence on 16 frags, just to note as well. Maniac having another very good game, 15 for 11 for him. He seems to have a return to form. When he first joined this team, I was skeptical. He was in fantastic shape then seemed to drop off for a couple of months, but seems to be hitting the DMs recently, because this has been a very good night for him. As we get into the final round of the first half, it will be 4-4s and Schneider on the UMP. Dennis. And yeah, they have to go aggressive here. They know they're up against the ropes and have to find that first kill and then fall back.
Well, it's worked pretty well, Henry. That's fine. Find the first couple of kills and then fall back too, to be precise. But look at the response. LDLC will not go down without a fight. GODSENT didn't fall off completely. They still try to keep a couple of players close, and now they've lost out on Schneider and Freddy B. Now, the problem with, I guess, LDLC is the fact that, well, Maniac's on 2 HP, so he's going to be struggling to find impact down the line. But given the AWP, see if he can do any sort of work with that, as it does mean as though he's working with very little in the form of longevity here. But lots of potential towards B, plenty of utility left as well, so lots on the board here for LDLC.
They head back towards the B side, and that's the correct call to make. The only presence they've really got on that side of the map is Twist. And he's in the connector, unfortunately. The other two players towards Long. They're going to find that out in about 10 seconds, and the rotates have to begin. But the good news is Twist does go towards T-spawn, right? So he could cause something here. Unfortunately, they have fully committed. He's being a little bit too slow, and they will find a completely open site here momentarily.
He caught a glimpse, and that's more than enough. Now, I don't know how quick they're going to consider the back flank. I don't know how quick that's going to be in the back of their minds, but the first port of call will probably be Maniac, and no one's checking it yet, and this is the problem. Dennis has found Maniac, and now they line up for Twist. This is big. It's just Existence, but he's been playing well. Better than most would expect. Puts himself to the corner, and now he waits. So many options in the back of GODSENT's minds. They don't know where he is, where he might be hiding. But does he play this correctly? Spots one, he waits. He waits patiently. Can he spot the other out? That's the next task. He's seeing them both. This could be brilliant. Existence. He waits so patiently, but now...
No,
oh, no!
Not like that.
He lets it go. He had it so many opportunities there to make that count, but in the final throes of that, he just lets it slip. 5-10 will be the scoreline. Far more viable than maybe that 11-4. It feels such a small difference, but it can make such a big change going into that second half. But we'll be jumping to a break, and when we're back, we'll find out how the next half will unfold. not quite the same scoreline as the first map and the first half, but somewhat close. LDLC in the driving seat, but there's a ray of light for GODSENT, and it mostly came from the double orbs.
Absolutely. They were 6-0 down, and then they picked that weaponry up and looked much better, I have to say. Twist started taking the game in his hands, and you could see towards the end, it started to fall apart again, and Existence with that chance. With the 2-on-1 clutch, how epic would that have been if he pulled that one off? It was so good up until the moment he pulled the trigger. He had both players in front of him, wanted to make sure he was guaranteed a lock-in, but then the moment he goes to the kill, the other player goes behind the pillar, he goes to the spray, and it goes horribly wrong for him. That's a bit of a shame considering how smart the play was.
Yeah, I almost feel for him in those sort of instances, don't you? Like,
yeah.
In the back of his mind, he's done everything, you know, to the degree that he expected to be right, and then it just slips away from him. But it is what it is. 10-5, it's not the end of the world for GODSENT, but I am curious if they can bring something of a T-side here. I don't know what to expect, really. The aggression, again, it seems to do quite well on occasion. It's fine, but I just don't know if it's enough. LDLC seem quite robust again. Overall, they seem like they've got a decent plan coming into this. The individuals turning up. Maniac being very good in Existence. Not the player I'd expect to be up there on the headlines, but he's certainly finding a little bit of form. But we are just waiting on one player to prepare themselves for this half. But yeah, I don't know what to really expect from these two teams overall. It's kind of hard. They kind of always sit on that kind of periphery, don't they? They never quite commit to being completely within the tier 1 consistently, but they can always find an occasional challenge here and there.
We'll see if they can keep challenging in the second half. I have to say, though, must-win pistol once again for GODSENT. It doesn't really feel like they have the star power right now to really get back out of this sort of mess. So they go 13-5 down. But we have seen them win second-round Force Spiders consistently, so maybe that'll be a case for them to get back into it. So maybe that won't be the end of the world. But LDLC are looking like a better team from what I've seen this evening. LDLC will be switching over to the CT side now. That's when we'll see Twanu have more antics with the AWP. And we'll obviously see Twist try to battle him on the T side as well.
Are we doing the old fantasy this season, Henry? Has that been a thing?
I have forgotten to do it since week 1.
Didn't Alex do that last season and still came like top 5 or something?
Everyone reminds me, and now I completely forgot that was even a thing.
I don't know if anyone else has been doing it, to be fair. You might, could still be very much within the runnings.
Well, I got wrecked in the first phase. I had 4 SK players and I lost to I can't remember, NRG or something. And I was like, well that's the end of my run.
There it goes. Yeah. But all that aside, we can get away from that for now as the game is live. They have decided to get this one underway, and it seems you guys at home agree with how the last couple of games have gone. It doesn't look too likely for the GODSENT side, but maybe there's a little bit of life left in them yet. The odds don't tip too drastically, but for now it does seem as though we're going to be seeing somewhat of a B hit, but we'll see how they take this one out. It does actually seem as though we're going to be seeing presence elsewhere, as Schneider going to find Twanu very early on, and it's a 4v4 still. And as said, Schneider now peeking up and over. Maniac still on patrol, but 3 players for LDLC still over by A, still trying to find the fights. You can see Existence trying to bait his teammates in, and then fall back a little bit as Dennis taking the bomb over towards B. And I think only Maniac's there at the moment, so he actually might have a bit of a shot at doing this one. Yeah, he is going to be watching that cross, so there is a chance for Maniac at this, but he is going to be having to try and be quite patient. And, well, speaking of patience, someone who doesn't have it is Devil. He goes right in on his own. Maniac was being pretty passive, waiting for support, and the Sport just goes hammering in head first. Rather curious way of doing it. We did say that GODSENT did need this pistol. It looks like they are on track to do so. Schneider with 2, and that would be a big impact there overall. I think he got 4 kills, so very nice start for him.
Lovely stuff. Nice to see Schneider bouncing back here. We know we've had some issues getting onto the server today. He's had some health stuff going on, but turned up and he seems to be swinging as well. Not too bad at all. And it will be GODSENT picking up the much-needed pistol there. As we round number 2, forced by, of course, from the CT side. PT50's CZ coming through as well. But they've got 5 smokes here, so they're not going to be messing around with this one. In terms of the buy for the GODSENT side, 2 AKs, 3 UMPs. That's what you like to see. A mixture of firepower and strategic strength as well with the utility.
I'm curious if we see that second round loss again. Does seem to be a factor more often than not at the moment. And we've seen the weirdest version of it with the Glock and the 1 P250 actually working out rather than the buy up with some sort of armor and everything else. But we'll see how GODSENT approach this. For me, it's quite curious to see how refined they are, what they can achieve. They're quite split up. Twist relatively on his own here. LDLC trying to put themselves in the right place for this though. Alex already going to start considering his options. Devil and Maniac maybe starting to feel the pressure. Certainly going to make contact here. Both of them playing from back to the wall positions. Good work from Maniac. Doesn't give up the angle. Still fights it out. Still holds control. Two players, though, working through Monster. Have now overwhelmed it. He can't do much more, but good damage done. But 4 still alive for GODSENT, and a plant seems likely, unless Alex could maybe slip in there.
Yeah, I thought Alex could cause a bit of damage there, but not meant to be. Twanu, though, on the other hand, he takes down Freddy B, but that looks like that's all they'll get. They're going to get 2 frags total, and doesn't really matter. The bombs planted or not at this stage. LDLC's thwarted by the GODSENT boys, and now we do have a game on our hands. No 13-5 here today. Should be 10-8 actually, with a full eco from LDLC. Here's the replay. Freddy B and co getting things done with the UMP on the bomb site itself, and we've got a P250. I think that's all we've got. No, not even that. P2000s, USP, and a flashbang. That's it.
A very, very light purchase, isn't it?
Pushing middle with that 1 flash. Hope for the best.
Yeah. All right, well, you know, I prefer them to at least invest that 200 into the flash and just try and maybe overwhelm someone. Seen stranger things happen this game, so again, not too surprising, but they do flash in. Sadly for them, the entirety of GODSENT have gone up on long, so they're now in a really awkward spot. Alex going to be put into that kind of 1v1 that you don't really want. You don't really need this in your life. You kind of want those nice kind of 5v1s, and you don't get it. Devil, though, somehow still finding kills. I don't understand how he's doing. He's just occasionally really weirdly aggressive, and it seems to work for him. But gets a UMP away. The rest of GODSENT now turn attention. They don't want to let this one spiral out of control, and they don't. They put their foot down. And Existence now your last man alive, and I'm pretty sure position already considered. Certainly noted now. But, oh, Schneider got taken rather close to the brink there, down to 13. But all in all, GODSENT survive, 4 alive. Not the worst thing, where they lose out on Dennis with the UMP.
Yeah.
And now it's time to see what LDLC bring back in, as they do have the purchase.
Twanu on the AWP, but same story as what we saw from GODSENT. After the force by in the second round, you see no kits. Limited existence, just the smoke there. They do have the 4 M4s and Twanu with the sniper as well, so hopefully he can step up and find him the first kill. He heads towards long with the in-game leader. And he'll be boosting himself up on the flower bed. No AWP available for the T side, curiously enough, but they'll be going to a slow default for now. Holding towards the playground, waiting for CT aggression to come through. Schneider watching the connector. Disco Doppelin waiting. Monster tunnel, here's a flashbang towards long. Surely the AWP capitalizes here. 1 frag comes in. Existence was trying to be baited in, but he's been taken down, and there it is. Twanu. A little bit confusing as to what went down, but there it is. Not a team kill. Twanu does take down the second as well. Lovely work there as we enter the 4-on-3 situation.
Yeah, Existence was playing anti-flash. It almost turned a little early on that as well. He kind of got caught by the first flash that went towards Party, and then the second almost had him, but no, he did manage to deliver a little bit of damage, which is always good, trying to help out Twanu. And GODSENT do continue their journey down long as well. They haven't really adverted course yet. Disco Doppler maybe considering Party, but Schneider's there. Alex working his way up. It depends how patient Alex is as well. Disco Doppler's going to be playing this one out pretty late, watching the back, keeping eyes on the flank. And Alex actually working his way around towards B there, leaving a lot in the hands of Twanu. If they did continue to work up long at a relatively fast pace, this could be pretty scary. And Twanu now makes enough contact, and yeah, this gets a little bit scary. LDLC need to help out Twanu. GODSENT have 2 players working up Schneider and Twist, who are going to come through that smoke one way or another. Disco Dopplin's working his way through toilets. We're down to 25 seconds, and GODSENT are about to make their hit happen. Devil's on the way, Maniac's almost there. But now it's all getting a little bit scary. Devil waiting by the truck, swings out wide, gets taken down by Schneider, and Schneider does lose out on HP, but he does gain good positioning here. Oh, that's going to put Twanu right on the back foot. He takes the shot he can, but now loses the angle. Has to fall back, and it's retake time. And
they've got no kits, remember, as well, and now only 1 flashbang to work of. Their saviour, though, could be Alex. He's coming in from long. He's got the flash as well, storming into the A site, hoping to find the first kill. There it is. Takes down Schneider. Twist and Doppelin to defend now from middle. Equally under-equipped, but now it's going to be Twist fighting back.
And Twist, we know this is a good map for him, but normally with the AWP and not in that spot. Maniac is there in the end, but they really did leave Twanu kind of all on his own there. That was a very last-minute bit of support coming around from the rest of LDLC.
Just down to Alex there as well. He finds that first shot, gets a second kill as well, and then sets him up at least when the retake begins. They were smoked out. Twanu and Maniac couldn't really do much in that situation. Here's the opening couple of kills from Twanu, though. That was nice, actually. Not too bad at all. Doesn't hit the second straight away.
This was always surprising. Look at the speed on this.
Boom. I love that sound effect. But it's 11-8 now.
Big fan. Gonna be the new ringtone.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
Get on the 3310.
Most people aren't. even old enough to remember what that is, Henry.
Oh, what a
How does that
travesty.
make you feel?
Yeah, it's true.
It's terrifying. Flash is going in from Dennis, going to keep them on their toes over by B, unable to make a full read as to what's going on. But Maniac's still very attentive towards Long. Well, Monster, should I say. GODSENT going to line up a fair few players here. I'm curious if we're going to see maybe the... I don't like calling it the Astralis, but it is now the Astralis, isn't it? The kind of Molotov
the copy-paste tactic, yeah.
Yeah, didn't GODSENT once do this, that they kind of just like YouTubed how to do it?
Yeah, I think Schneider said that in an interview. Like, before the game, we just learned how to do it and then dropped it in. I can't remember which tournament that was, but...
Flash is only so far, and you can see how well that's gone. The last flashes coming in were decent, but not really good enough. A little disjointed here from GODSENT, not really outdoing many of the LDLC players, not able to trade effectively, leaving just Twist alive, and it's a 1v3, and Twist is good, but not that good.
Devil, 3 kills in the round, like he said. It was the execution coming from GODSENT, but not really having too much impact there whatsoever. Here he is, boosted himself up on the site. Through the smoke, he's actually looking pretty decent these days. 12-8, and that should be the eco now for the GODSENT side. Round number 6 coming in. Open hand to Twanu. Very comfortable round for them incoming, I'd imagine. In terms of loss bonus, GODSENT now at number 2. Oh, it's Twanu going for that wall bang again at the very beginning. I haven't seen anyone land this shot just yet. It's in CT spawn, and you're firing it off unless it's like 151 at the top of the scoreboard, and then you can kill players in T spawn. I've not seen anyone kill anyone there yet, but I'm hoping one day it happens. It's similar to the body wall bang on Cash, I guess.
Which wallbang are you talking about?
In CT Spawn, you can fire
all the way through to T-Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vile. If that does ever work out, I will just, it's time for an uninstall at that point. You just got to walk away.
Just straight away.
Just,
no questions asked.
Yeah. You can time it literally to the T's leaving.
Well, we'll follow him this round. Let's follow Twanu.
Is he going to do it?
He tried it last round. He came very close. It might be Existence going for it this time. They've got 2 orbs out. Or they've thrown one away.
Where?
Existence had a secondary orb, I think. Unless I'm going mad.
I don't know.
Maybe it didn't. Maybe throw it to Twanu.
Okay, let's see if Twanu does the...
Nope,
he's off. But yeah, it is... If you want to find out what it is, you can YouTube it. There is like one person who put it up, and I was really surprised that no one had exploited it yet. But it's a really odd little lineup that you get just towards the stairs as they kind of pull themselves in. But yeah, no harm, no foul just yet. But the one player who does it instantly destroys everything. World's on fire.
Yeah.
But 13-8, LDLC kind of climbing back into this one. GODSENT certainly making it far more competitive, but we'll see what more they can do here.
Twanu, short control right now. Backed up by his teammate. Devil, who's watching the door, but that smoke will go down. Oh, Twanu spots one. They boosted up at the window there. There's definitely a chance for a kill, but he just about gets out. Twanu and Devil getting peppered up a little bit there, both down to about 60 points of health. Frags being exchanged just yet, but a lot of wall bangs coming through. Schneider trying to find a shot, but nothing landing just yet. Oh, there's one. A stray bullet hits Alex. Doesn't do much damage, to be fair.
No. And well, GODSENT have run the clock down a fair amount. And, same can be said for each team. They're working through that utility as they go, but it does seem... I'm curious where Dennis is off to, because we have everyone else lining up by B at the moment, and this could all be Belarus, just kind of pull everyone over and send the last 2 over towards A, but... Right into this Devil. He's so aggressive recently. Yeah. He's just going on runs.
This is misinformation potentially here as well, because he spotted no one at Monster and they're all as short.
Dude, this is really... But then again, if he just sits where he is now, he might get away with it. But no, they do check on it. I was really hoping that wasn't going to fall apart. But what a strange round again, Henry. I'm a little baffled as to how this happens. It's down to a 2v2 now. So again, it's not the worst in the world for LDLC, but... Very, very curious. 9 seconds left. If they can deny the bomb plant, this is huge. They do get the bomb plant in the end from GODSENT, but Existence just plays it well to the time. But what a weird round.
Very strange scenes here, but still lovely stuff from LDLC to finish things off. It was looking like it was going to fall apart. They pushed Monster. I think they could feel the execution coming forward. They had a lot of information on the map, and they pushed towards Monster with flashbangs over as well, trying to find at least 1 kill there. That kind of fell apart, but this retake was just stellar. Existence, looking at the timer there, there's 12 seconds left. Educated guesses to push forward, find that first kill, and then the second one was just a lock-in. Bomb does get planted with the lost bonus. GODSENT can still buy into this one. They've got 4th stage right now. 5 AKs, but look at the kit. They've got 3 smokes, 1 flashbang. That's it. On a map like Overpass, that's not really enough to work with.
No. Lots of firepower on this team, but I don't think we've seen it all coming through. We've seen occasional moments of it being quite decent. but you kind of want a little bit more. You want to see like maybe 2 of these players having those good games. Have Dennis, you know, going off a bit, Twist maybe. Someone, Disco Doppler though, given again great opportunities to do damage here. These 2 working through Monster, they do make it count, but strange aggression, that CT side aggression coming through on Monster of all places. But if it works, who am I to doubt it? But GODSENT on the receiving end of a hell of a good flash then. All players flashed up. You can see Existence just plucking them away. The only one to fight back so far being Freddy. You're down to 3 and they're all known, all noted in this position, but do they commit? Do they actually run through this? They've got 1 minute left. They don't need to rush, but they have no utility. They have to make it count wherever they go next. And it doesn't look like anyone from LDLC this time is going to be going looking for information. This is where they can relax a little bit, sit back a touch, and just hold on to those sights.
4 on 3. As you said, GODSENT have been letting the clock run down. Problem is now, sure, they have some map control, but how do they get onto the site? No nades whatsoever. That was the problem with this round. They're going to have to rely on pure brute force here. 1 player towards long, 2 in middle. They have got close to the bomb site, but still a lot of work to do here. And will be Alex and Existence to defend.
Yeah, and Existence, well, he's not being moved. You've got Alex there as well. The crossfire is held well. Maynard's been working around the back. And another on the board. Yeah. LDLC, I feel they've just kind of slipped into the motions now. They're not being threatened, they're not being pushed. We haven't seen much coming out of GODSENT that's kind of turned our attention, at least. Not surprising we haven't seen many more defaults, but then again, new in-game leader, how much do they have written down here? Clearly, Schneider's not in the best of form either. You know, I guess physically he's being a little bit maybe reserved here, maybe not feeling the game so much. Exactly, and that's more surprising that he's able to do that. If he's having one of those games where he's not really wanting to fully commit to it, but still being able to do well. But yeah, maybe an awkward situation. But for now, Existence again sees it all, completely flashed up. GODSENT, he's trying to back away to a safer spot, plays in Twanu well. Freddy B goes down. You've got to feel for GODSENT in a way. They're trying to put up a fight as much as they can, but at this point, it's looking very unlikely to stick. Schneider heading towards the bomb, maybe looking to recover this. The rest of GODSENT, all right, they found the B's completely open. But is that Schneider now has 4 players staring him down and a bomb that is not to hand. Disco Doppler and Twist going to have to try and back around and do something with this, but all said and done, this game looks pretty much over here, Henry.
Don't speak too soon, Lauren.
Oh, you're a believer?
There's always a chance.
You're a believer.
If I've learned anything in casting Overpass, it can always happen. Disco Doppler, Twist. No nades. But I've got a dream. No, you're probably right. This one should be done. Considering the bomb's down towards the party position and they don't really have any chance of predicting Twano with this angle, I don't see a world where they even find a kill in this particular setup. It looks under lock and key by LDLC here. Oh, timings though. There we go.
I did doubt Twist before, and then he did go off on that ridiculous round. So
if you just hold that angle, that's CSGO right there. That's when you just feel like, right, I hate this game.
That's when you just tab out afterwards. Like, all right. But all said and done, LDLC do claim the victory. It did seem as though once they got onto that CT side, once really we saw just GODSENT not quite having the impact they'd want overall. Again, still early days for GODSENT, so hopefully down the line we might see a bit more from them, see the individuals come through. Hopefully Schneider starts to feel better as well, maybe able to put up a even bigger performance, even though he did certainly hold his own. But for now, I think we're going to be heading back to the desk, Henry. We can hear what they had to say about this delightful matchup.
Thank you very much, Pansy. Yeah, a bit of another messy game, to be honest. The start was a little bit weird. I mean, you were both kind of looking, saying, what is going on in this game? And then it was round 9, I believe. We saw the umps being bought, and I think that was when you lost it. You're like, no, I don't want to watch this anymore.
They're trying to mentally break us, I think. I think that's their plan. It's like, hey, let's do a couple of really cool B executes, but we'll leave the bomb at spawn. We don't need that. We don't need that. A couple of times there's a run back and get it, which it's just ridiculous. That must mean communication is definitely not on point. And then the round with the UMP, I like how Henry justified it, but you couldn't do the same thing with AKs. There's no reason that you can't be aggressive with the AK, right? I get that you have the run and gun with the UMP, and you want to take advantage of that double AWP setup, but the way they did it, it feels like they didn't really think it out. And then when they found out where the AWP was on the site, only one guy ran at him, and everybody else kind of thought, hey, I'm just going to hope someone else kills him. It's just... They won the game, all right? They won the game. It's just nonsense.
They did win the game. Like I said, it was just a little bit messy. And Janko, would you say that this is still under the impression that these games didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things for LDLC? They're probably still going to be down at the bottom of the table come the end of the season?
I think they're definitely not going to be a contender for the LAN playoffs, but I think they definitely matter for their survival in the league, right? Getting a 2-0 against any team, especially against GODSENT, who is maybe going to be a direct contender for that spot to remain in the league. I think it's a big deal. And yeah, the UMP round was very weird. Another weird thing is maybe not in this roster, but Existence at the top of the scoreboard, leading the pack. It happens every now and then.
Yeah, he's had a couple of these type of games where he can just run away with it. I think there was one on Inferno where he was just an absolute monster towards that B/Banana where we saw earlier. Maybe it was last season, actually, now if I'm rolling back my memory.
They all just merged together.
Yeah, but it's just like he does have them every now and again where he just seems to read the game perfectly. And this is what they did on Inferno on their CT side as well, was they made some really good reads on stacks. And here on the T side, all they did was basically just cripple the economy of the guys from GODSENT, got up to that 7, I think it was 7-0. Yep. It made it very difficult, for them to get those double AWPs going. And then when they got those AWPs going and they had that UMP round, it was almost like a lifeline. It was like, here you go. We're going to give you a shot to get back in the game, but it just wasn't to be when we swapped over.
But speaking of Existence, there was that round 15 as well, the last of the first half, where Existence was waiting with 2 players, the bomb was already planted, and then he just whiffed it right at the end. I mean, that was something that shouldn't have really happened. You were kind of saying, yeah, pull the trigger now, pull the trigger now, pull the trigger now.
What he wanted to do was run down the timer as much as possible, right, which makes sense in a retake scenario, but they were basically standing side by side. Neither player had tapped the bomb, but in that scenario, if he had just started spamming, he would have just been able to easily control it and probably kill the other guy. When he waited for them to tap, they spread apart, and he wanted to kill the guy that wasn't tapping the bomb first, which makes sense, right? Because the guy should be focused on defusing, so you go for the other guy, but he just tapped it and got off. He didn't tap it and sit it. So it was just like he should have killed them when they were closer together. I understand. That's a punch your monitor moment. That's like super frustration, right?
Smash the table.
Oh, signs getting thrown.
Keyboard's out the window, mouse out the window. Would you say that, I mean, from this game in total, do you think that GODSENT, they maybe underperformed? It could have been down to the eye surgery thing with Snyder. Do you think it's just an off day for GODSENT in the end?
It did look like an off day because we saw them play Overpass and they were pretty good, especially on the CT side. Yes, they couldn't get their economy going here, but when you look at some of the plays and some of the holes, the timings were just off. It didn't seem like the team play was there, we saw a couple of retake situations where they still had utility and didn't use it properly, just went for straight up fights. So whether the communication was off or the players just weren't on point individually, GODSENT definitely did seem a bit off in this game.
So maybe just a little bit fortunate for LDLC to go up against a weak GODSENT then, do you think, Sponge?
I think they played well in the sense of they actually had a game plan, they stuck to it, they had some different ideas, and we got to see players, especially like Existence in this last map, stepping up and having a blinder of a performance. So you can't take anything away from them in that regard. On paper, we would say that GODSENT was the better team. Obviously, coming into this one, not to be the case. And, you wonder how you quantify that, right? It's just hard to look at what went wrong for them.
I think with teams like these, especially with LDLC, it's always the result is always going to end up being a bit random, simply because of the decision making that they do. That they don't make proper decisions individually at times, which is something we noticed even on Inferno. And when you have players go for those types of plays, it's always going to be high risk, high reward, right? So when they are on point, and when they get those kills, then they're going to win crucial rounds, and they're going to end up losing the game. But when they go for those reckless plays and they don't get the kill, then the round is going to fall apart, and most likely the game as well.
An example of that on this map was we were watching Toino at Long, right? He got flashed out, he got a kill, he dropped off the flower pot position, and then he went for that wide peak where there was 2 players waiting at Rock for him. Going for that wide peak that he could get picked from either side, and he's only watching one or the other. He was lucky to hit that flick. That's an example of what Yanko's talking about, where if it pays off, fantastic, you have that number advantage. But it's almost not even worth it, right?
You can see why guys like Device don't go for that wide repeak, because they know that there is a chance of the AWPer waiting for them on the right side of that rock, basically. Yeah. And if you repeak and he is there, you die. It doesn't matter how good you are. If the other guy doesn't make a huge blunder, he has the advantage and he kills you. That's why you don't go for it. You got the kill, you fall back, you have the man advantage, you play the rest of the map.
And that's the main thing, the man advantage, right? There's other scenarios where we'll see like a Fallen or someone go crazy with the AWP and be very hyper aggressive and go for another pick. But in this scenario right here, you don't need to. You had the number advantage. You're not in a combat AWPing position. You're not being forced to go for this kill. If you just play the advantage, the best thing with AWPers who play fundamental Counter-Strike is you get that pick, you forward to the next line, you get another free pick, right? They have to use utility to either flash you off the line, they have to use a teammate to jump out, or they're going to step out, and if you're a good AWPer, you should probably hit the shot. So if he just played it fundamentally sound, he probably would have got that kill again anyway. There was no need for him to go for that repick, but you need to know when to be flashy and know when to fold them and know when to hold them. No one to hold them, no one to fold them. Other way around. But
we'll get there.
That's the gist of it.
It seemed like LDLC smelt blood a bit and felt like they were facing a weak GODSENT, and that's why they were trying these kind of flashy plays and different kind of play styles. But that's one of those things. If you've got a chance, you go for it, right?
They're not in the position to be doing that.
Well, I mean...
Listen, getting their hopes up, Chad, getting the confidence up, feeling it, saying that, yeah, we can just take them, and do that to a couple of opponents in that side of the table, and they're secure.
Yeah, stay out of the bottom 3.
Hopefully they won't be in relegation, but that is the first 2 maps done and dusted. Next, we have the hot match of the week. It's going to be GODSENT. No, it's not. GODSENT just played. It's going to be Big versus Heroics. We'll be back with that one very shortly.